Hello, everyone. These are my co-hosts, Nidhi, Kaushal, and I'm your host, Rini. We welcome you to today's episode, and we're thrilled to have you on the journey of gastroenterology and digestive health with one of Cincinnati's top doctors and specializing in gastroenterology. Whether you're curious about how your gut works, looking for the tips to stay healthy, or just for some interesting stories, we've got something for everyone. So grab a healthy snack, sit back, and let's get started. Our guest today, Dr. Rashmi Tadiparthi, an expert in all things gastrointestinal. She graduated with honors from Osmania Medical College in Hyderabad, India. She went on to complete her internal medicine residency at the George Washington University Hospital in Washington, D.C. Ma'am is a board-certified gastroenterologist, having graduated from a gastroenterology fellowship at the Kansas University Medical Center in Kansas City.
Thank you guys for having me here today. It's very exciting to see young people take interest in, improving their overall health.
Yeah. So how are you?
Doing great.
All
Thanks.
right. So let's get started with today's interview. Our first question is, what does a gastroenterologist do? So before we get going, let's start with a basic question.
So a gastroenterologist is someone who takes care of digestive health problems, which could be anywhere in your digestive tract, starting from your mouth all the way to your anus. We also take care of problems with your liver and pancreas.
What does a typical day look for you for a gastroenterologist?
So we see patients in the office, and then we do procedures, endoscopies, colonoscopies. Sometimes all day we do procedures. Some days it's a mix and match. Sometimes we also rotate in the hospital where we take care of really sick patients.
So when does your day start and when does it end?
Typically it's 7:30 a.m. and then it ends around 4:35 in the U.S. I think gastroenterologists in India work much longer. We work longer when we do our inpatient rotations.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds, very eventful. But okay, to keep things a little lighter, do you believe in the 5-second rule?
5-second rule, sure, why not? It's a little bit of, you won't believe it, but a little bit of dust and, a little bit of ingesting microbacteria is actually good for you. It keeps your gut busy fighting real infections so that, you don't develop autoimmune problems. A recent increase in autoimmune gut disorders like Crohn's and inflammatory bowel disease possibly could be because of improved sanitation. So go for it. Go for the 5-second rule.
Yeah. And then maybe after that we can go for a 10-second rule.
And the 30-second rule.
And 30-second rule. Yes. So now these days teenagers are shifting their routine with smoothies, because a lot of gym addicts are having smoothies with proteins and all. So what do you think would create an ultimate healthy smoothie?
So, if you want to get your nutrition through smoothies, sure, why not? But make it a good one. Anytime you're supplementing or replacing a meal with a smoothie, then a smoothie should have the ideal combination of fiber and your daily nutrients, antioxidants. So the most important elements are the antioxidants and fiber. You should get about 25 grams of fiber. So maybe broccoli, carrots, avocado, spinach. These are great sources of micronutrients, antioxidants, and fiber. About 25 grams of fiber, and don't forget, if you're taking fiber, you should drink plenty of water.
Got it.
Okay, gym bros, there you go. Okay, so I think as far as we all know how weird pregnancy cravings can get, but for normal people like us, what is something like some surprising food items or weird combinations that are surprisingly healthy for us?
Oh, so weird snacks that can be healthy?
Yeah.
You know what? I think you have so many choices here. Maybe mangoes, that are not ripe with some salt and chili powder. Something sweet, something sour, but try to avoid fried foods. Try to avoid processed foods, because that's the highest rate of increased incidences of colon cancers, all kinds of inflammation. So highly processed foods, refined sugars, if you can avoid that will be great. But anything that's natural, that would be great.
It's kind of a bummer for us, but if it works, it works.
Okay.
you have patients in day and out. Is there any type of stories or incidents which were like funny or like quirky with your
Yes,
patients?
we have a lot of funny stories, which makes our days more humorous. There was this one, colon cancer prevention is a big part of what we do. And there was this one lady who was 45, and she came to me to schedule a colonoscopy. So I said, oh, that's great, you're following guidelines, because the new guidelines are for everyone who's 45 to get a colonoscopy or get some form of colon cancer screening. So this lady, she said she was there for a colonoscopy. I applauded her for following guidelines. But she said she only came in because her dog was sniffing her bottom. And maybe the dog was trying to tell her something, because dogs have a great sense of smell. And she was convinced that she may have colon cancer because of the dog sniffing her butt. So either way, she did get a colonoscopy done, and fortunately she was fine, but we all had a good laugh from the dog. We were going to hire her dog if she did have colon cancer, and we would install her dog as the colo dog test in our waiting area.
That sounds fun. What regular exercises would you recommend for keeping or maintaining your gut healthy?
So, the gut is closely, the more you move, the more your gut will move. So if you want to have regular bowel movements and, have a good digestive health, it's really important to stay active. For young people like you, I think you naturally have a very active lifestyle. But if you are not spending enough time out and about, at least 30 minutes on a daily basis, or at least 5 times a week is important. Run, walk, brisk walk, bicycle.
Yeah. Coming to the more technical terms, the medical world is obviously filled with so many complicated words. Have you ever had a moment where you struggled to pronounce a difficult medical word, such as esophagogastroduodenoscopy? Can you please share your experience with us?
A lot of patients struggle with this. They don't know what EGD stands for, or they just said the scope up my butt or scope up the other end. So yeah, sometimes these words can definitely be tricky.
Yeah, but it's also like fun at the same time,
They are tongue twisters.
Yeah, true. Now I think I want to come to a topic, something a little more to spread awareness, right? So in our generation, especially like among teenagers, body positivity is a big topic, I think, due to a lot of influence from social media itself.
Yes.
How can understanding and taking care of our digestive health contribute to a positive body image and like overall self-esteem?
Yes, I think that's a really deep question. I think your generation and a lot of people are under so much pressure from social media to look a certain way, to fit a certain mold. But I think, it's really important to understand that, there's a wide range of normal. You want to be in the normal BMI range, which is between 18 to 25. This is your weight divided by your height. So really your body weight really depends on how tall you are, and you just want to be in that normal range. Do not feel pressure to fit, to have a perfect hourglass figure or look like a Barbie doll or anything of that sort. And the key is energy balance. Basically, the energy in should be equal to the energy out to maintain a healthy weight, So make sure that if you're eating a certain amount, you understand how many calories you're taking in, and you burn the same amount of calories. Certain people fall into unhealthy eating habits like binge eating disorders, bulimia, where they eat excessively and vomit. So completely avoid that. That's completely destructive to your health.
Yeah, I've in fact among the people I know in my circle itself, I've spoken to some of them who have not the best relationship with food. So I think this should help them.
So when people say they don't have the best relationship with food, how do you suggest, or what are your tips to maintain a good healthy diet,
Yes.
even though they don't have a good relationship with food?
So if you eat healthy food, then let your food be your medicine. instead of taking medicine as food, right? So eat a healthy diet, make sure you're taking the right amount of calories, the right amount of antioxidants, avoid eating processed food. There's very, a lot of data supporting foods that are prepared at home, prepared by yourself, because then you understand what you put into your food. And then, maintain an active, healthy lifestyle.
Makes sense, yeah.
So, as a doctor, it would be very stressful at certain days and might be very happy at certain days. How do you basically balance yourself with your work and with your outside your work life?
So I think, there's a lot of satisfaction to be had when you take care of patients and they tell you that, you made a difference. And, it makes me very happy when somebody comes and tells me that, even a simple medication adjustment or something really helped them.
So what inspired you to get into this field?
I like using my hands, and I also like to use my brain, and I love medicine, I love science, and gastroenterology gives me the exact right balance of using my hands for procedures and also seeing patients where you think, you analyze, and you help.
Awesome. So there's a lot of talk about gut feeling, right? So do you think there's a real connection between what we eat and what we process, as in like what goes behind the mind?
Sure, a lot of people get a lot of comfort from the foods they eat. They call them soul foods. Again, not to harp on the same thing, but a lot of times people want to eat unhealthy foods and junk foods to make them happy. But you can retrain your mind and you can eat foods that are actually healthy for you, that also make you feel good, and you don't feel guilty afterwards that you ate unhealthy food, So, again, eat foods and become friends with foods that are actually healthy for you.
Makes sense, yeah. And I think end of the day, I think it's the way you process food with the positive mind, which makes sure
Exactly.
it also resonates the same in the stomach.
Exactly. Make that right connection with
Yeah.
the food.
So now, okay, so this was something which I wanted to ask, and personal to me also. Normally, if it's like an exam, or if I'm, having some, if I'm nervous, I start having like a stomach problem or something like that. So definitely my mental health, of course, I feel there's a connection between my mental health and my digestive system.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you suggest how to maintain a good, like to avoid a bad situation or cope up with this?
So this is a very common problem that we see not only among teenagers but also among adults. It's a maladaptive behavior. The gut is actually like a peripheral brain. It has the same receptors that sense anxiety and stress that your brain does. When we are stressed and anxious, the stress hormone levels go up in the body, and your gut is actually able to sense that and respond to that with spasming. It's called a spastic or irritable bowel disorder, and this can lead to abdominal pain. It can lead to change in your bowel habits, and this is very important to decrease your stress levels. Again, exercise on a daily basis, because that does help to reduce your stress hormones and improve your happy hormones, and improve that mind-gut connection. Maintain a healthy diet, make that take that fiber intake on a daily basis, and make sure that you spend some time meditating too. That helps too.
That sounds very helpful for people who might have gone through it or would be going through it. So let's take it to the rapid fire round to keep it light and breezy. So let's say coffee or tea, which
I like both. Coffee to start my day, tea to end my day.
Good answer. Yes,
Coffee
good
is an
answer.
antioxidant and actually good for your brain too.
Right. A favorite healthy snack.
Peanuts.
Yes, that's so true. Yes. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
A night owl.
Don't blame you. Beaches or mountains?
Beaches.
Yes. Do you have like a fun episode where you were on the beach or?
Oh, on the beach?
Yeah.
Every day on the beach is fun.
I know, right? Yes. Books or movies?
Books.
Yes. Do you have a favorite book of yours? Or you would recommend any of the viewers to read?
My taste might be a little old for you guys, but I like Gone with the Wind. In that era, I read a lot of spy novels. I used to read, Nancy Drew and all of the Agatha Christie, long time
Classics.
back.
Yeah. Pizza or salad?
Salad.
You can be honest here.
And some cheat days, pizza too. Absolutely.
Okay, last question. What is some habit of ours that we do every day that could lead up to like serious problems that we never even would even know. No.
You mean with eating or?
No, like general, any habit of ours that we think is normal.
I think, probably the most common habit that we don't realize is eating while watching television.
Oh, no.
Because sometimes, because while watching television, you are so involved in watching and they're not paying attention to your satiety center that we tend to overeat. And, we may, and that gradually, leads to energy imbalance and weight gain. I think it's important when you're eating to actually pay attention to what you're eating.
Maybe we shouldn't show this part to our parents.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think those were like a series of great questions and answers, of course. And I think all of us loved knowing a little more into the field you work in. And yeah, we would like to give a big thank you to you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me, and thank you for your time.
We hope we all learned something from this, and also the viewers learned something. And we just, we have like this new appreciation for this field now, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.